The Washington Commanders mollywop the Tennessee Titans 42-19 before hitting into the bye week. So we're going to hand out some game balls tonight, and then we're going to look at some other notes. But come on, let's celebrate. Let's recap this thing. Next on Washington Football Maniacs. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Scott again. My co-host Greg Sykes is actually down. He's feeling very under the weather, so definitely keep him in your thoughts and prayers. So hopefully he gets back to 100%. So we're gonna go over the recap, the game balls for the night, and some notes that Greg asked me to cover with you guys, man. So we're definitely gonna get into all that and celebrate because the Washington Commanders get a much needed win at home versus the Tennessee Titans, whooping them 42-19. So let's get into it, everybody. So as I see it, there are 4 game balls for today's victory over the Tennessee Titans. Game ball number 1, Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels, the franchise quarterback for the Washington Commanders, was 25 for 30, throwing the ball with 114.7 quarterback rating, throwing for 206 yards, averaging 6.9 yards per completion, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception and 2 sacks. So I'm not going to take the interception to heart because, like I said, 3 touchdowns, and he did well today, including running 1 touchdown. And so overall, he definitely gets the first game ball. He did not look like himself. And like I said, once we get into Greg's notes, because he definitely covers that, he has some really, really good notes that he actually covered, man. And one of them was, the last 3 games, the 3-game losing streak, he did not look like himself. And he was dealing with that rib injury, and you could just tell that he was not 100%. He looked 100% today. Very agile. I mean, he was getting the ball out. He really utilized the line. The line, we're going to talk about them in a minute, but the line did a good job giving him the time needed to get the ball out. He threw an accurate ball today. Like I said, he did have 1 pick, but we're not tripping because he did throw for 3 touchdowns and 206 yards. So, I mean, again, Jayden Daniels proves that he is finally the franchise quarterback that we've been looking for probably for the last 20 years. He's a very young and savvy quarterback who, again, stepped up today because this was a much-win game for the Washington Commanders. So they had to win this game before heading into the bye week because they lose this game, then you look at the schedule a different way. You still have New Orleans, you still have the Atlanta Falcons, you still have Philadelphia, you still have Dallas. So you've got to win this game, and they capitalized. They came out and they swung for the fences, and they got a much-needed win, and they blew them out. Game ball number 2 goes to the running back room. Now you can say McNichols, 6 carries for 32 yards, but to me, Brian Robinson Jr. and Chris Rodriguez came through in the clutch, man. A 1-2 punch that, it really gets into the line. And, we're going to give a game ball to the line, but we're going to give them the 3rd one. But they, you can say the offensive line, not only did they give Jayden Daniels enough time to get the ball out, enough time to, find running lanes. He did get 2 sacks, but like I said, very agile, running around, definitely find those rushing lanes, man, and did a great job. Same thing with Brian Robinson Jr. and Chris Rodriguez, man. They both were able to, capitalize on wide open running lanes. If you look at Brian Robinson Jr., 16 carries for 103 yards, averaging 6.4 yards per carry, and 1 touchdown, with his longest run being 40 yards. And then Chris Rodriguez, 13 carries, 94 yards, and 1 touchdown. So he did his thing. Jayden Daniels, 9 carries for 34 yards and 1 touchdown. So we threw the ball, we rushed the ball, and we did both at a high level. This offense was clicking on full cylinders, man. I'm trying to tell you guys, man. Cliff Kingsbury did get a lot of criticism the last 3 games, and you could also argue that it was much deserved. The offense looked very just predictable, stagnant. Not the case today. He utilized a lot of people. So we're gonna get into the passing stats as far as the tight ends, but game ball number 3 goes to the offensive line. Not only did they give Jayden Daniels enough time to make his reads, go through his progressions, and throw a very accurate ball, not only in short or mid-range throws, but he was, there was a couple of deep balls that he did miss, but overall he was able to, he came very close to hitting a few people. And the offensive line is a big reason why the offense looks so good today. I mean, again, Jayden Daniels only missed 5 throws, 25 for 30. 3 touchdowns, yes, 1 interception. Again, we're not tripping about that, and 2 sacks. And like I said, the 2 sacks, I think you can attribute to him running out of the pocket. But overall, they gave him that protection that he needed. And looking at the running back situation, you had 2 running backs, guys. 2 running backs that almost ran for 100 yards. Again, Brian Robinson Jr., 103 yards, and Rodriguez, 94 yards. So that is a testament to the offensive line. The offensive line did their jobs and did it at a high level. They get my 3rd game ball. The final game ball tonight goes to Scary Terry. That's right. Our number one receiver, Terry McLaurin, again impressed today with 8 receptions for 73 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was targeted 8 times and he caught all targets. 8 targets for 8 receptions. So he continues to have a heck of a combination with Jayden Daniels, and that is definitely a good sign for the future because they have that chemistry, and they're going to be a nice combination for years to come, in my opinion. Terry McLaurin is putting the NFL notice and letting people know that he is a number one receiver in the NFL. He is definitely the top receiving threat here in DC, and it has been for some time. So we have got to put some respect on his name, man, because Terry McLaurin, aka Scary Terry, continues to show not only the fan base but the NFL overall, why he is a much slept on number one receiver in this league. And today he had a really good game. He had the crowd hype. People was, screaming his name, Terry. I mean, he was pumping up the crowd. I mean, that's what you want to see. You like to see this fan base happy, celebrating, see this team playing well. And we are definitely heading in the right direction. We're definitely in a new era in this team's history. We have a good team now. 8-5. We took our bumps, 3-game losing streak, but I think this game, definitely hitting into the bye week gives us some momentum. Because like I said, guys, before we end this show, we're going to look at the schedule because the schedule, it could go both ways. Like I said, we still have to go through Philadelphia. We still have to go through Dallas. We still have New Orleans, and we still have the Atlanta Falcons. So, 3 out of 4 of those games are against teams that have, you can say about 2 out of the 4 because Dallas ain't got a playoff aspiration. So I'm going to go ahead and check that noise right now. But Philadelphia, who's playing right now, definitely has playoff aspirations. In Atlanta, look, they're still in the fight. New Orleans can still play sleeper and can still catch a team sleeping. You know what I mean? So, and then looking at Dallas, we knew from this last engagement with them that divisional games, you could not automatically put that down as a loss. They're going to play us hard. They're going to play us tough, and they're going to try to, definitely, put a dent in our playoff aspirations, man. So, we cannot take Dallas lightly. We they've proven that. We've learned that the hard way. So, like I said, the 4 game balls tonight, number 1 goes to Jayden Daniels. Number 2, the running back room, Brian Robinson Jr. and Chris Rodriguez, man. You can throw in Jayden Daniels and McNichols, but the star of the show rushing the ball tonight, or today rather, was Brian Robinson Jr. and Chris Rodriguez. The 3rd game ball went to the offensive line. They did their job. They did it at a high level. And then the 4th game ball goes to Terry McLaurin. 8 targets, 8 receptions for 73 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he proves to everybody that he is that guy. Some other stats to look at. He did pass the ball around, and that's another fact that I really liked about what Jayden Daniels did today because he was efficient, but he spread the ball around. De'Ami Brown, 4 receptions for 35 yards. Zach Ertz, 3 receptions for 35 yards, but did get a really good touchdown in the red zone for the Commanders. Noah Brown, 3 receptions. Zacchaeus, 3 receptions. Luke McCaffrey, 2 receptions. Brian Robinson Jr. had 1 reception, and Ben Sinnott had 1 reception. So he definitely spread the ball around. We did make our mistakes today. Jayden Daniels did have a fumble, did throw an interception, but let's not forget he is a rookie. And he has played better than we expected in his rookie campaign. And there's a reason why he's not only in the conversation for most valuable player, but offensive rookie of the year. There's a reason for that. Now, obviously, there's people that do stand in his way in both categories. And looking at offensive rookie of the year, I still think he has a leg up on Bo Nix, even though Bo Nix has been playing good football. But I think that you definitely have to put respect on Jayden Daniels' name for what he's done as a rookie quarterback in the NFL. People compare him to RG3. Look, RG3 didn't have the deep ball accuracy like Jayden Daniels has. So you got to give him his flowers that maybe he could be just as good, if not better, as a quarterback prospect than RG3 was. Now, as a runner, could you get the edge RG3? Yeah, but like I said, that ship has sailed. Definitely want to thank RG3 for his service. But look, now is time for Jayden Daniels. So, all right, guys, we're gonna get into some notes that Greg wanted to cover with us. Like I said, definitely want to put definitely put your prayers out to family because he's feeling under the weather. So definitely hoping that Greg can get back to 100%. Because like I said, guys, it is the time of the year where the seasons are changing. So people are definitely getting sick. And if you got kids, you know they bring everything home. So like I said, definitely want to see him get back to 100%. But he did have some notes I wanted to cover you guys, and they were really good notes. So let's get into it. And I'm going to kind of put my spin on it also. All right, so Greg did say that Jayden Daniels looks fast and healthy again. Did not look that way the past couple of games, and I agree 100%. He obviously was dealing with that rib injury, and he was not 100%, and it showed. He definitely looked 100%. He definitely, and I think it's really good that he's going into a bye week because it's a late bye week. He didn't get the proper rest that he needed, and the wear and tear really started to show with Jayden Daniels. So this bye week will pay dividends for the rest of the way with the remaining schedule, because I think they're going to come out much rested, refocused, and you're definitely going to see teams going to. I think they could definitely. Now, I'm not going to say right now. I'm not going to make a prediction like they're going to win out. Philadelphia's going to be a hard game. Now, Dallas, obviously it hasn't had the best regular season, but they've already proven that they can definitely sneak us, man. They can definitely sucker punch us, man, and play spoiler. So you can't not take the Cowboys lightly. New Orleans, I think, is a winnable game, but just kind of like Tennessee, I think it is a must-win game. And in Atlanta, you best believe that Kirk Cousins is going to come into Northwest Stadium wanting to win this game, being a former Washington Redskins quarterback. So you can't take any of the guys in the remaining schedule lightly, but I agree 100% with his first point to cover. That Jayden Daniels looked healthy, and again, he didn't look that way the last 3 games, but he finally looks healthy, and he's going to get even more healthy heading into the bye week. Point number 2 we want to cover tonight. Chris Rodriguez took advantage of his opportunity 8 days after getting cut for the team. I was going to cover that, but I wanted to go ahead and let Greg cover that in his notes. Yeah, he was actually released from the team. So for him to come back and run for almost 100 yards and a touchdown, wow. That shows you that depth is a good thing. With him, Nichols, B-Rob, and Austin Eckler, you have a really deep running back room here. And I think that, again, that is a testament to Adam Peters, man. For him to be able to not only find high-quality free agents, go in the draft and get good talent, but he's able to really build some depth here where in the event of injuries, in the event of bad production, you have guys you can definitely really ride that mantra of next man up. Chris Rodriguez is able to come in and play really good football. Again, running for over 90 yards and a touchdown. So look, again, I agree with Greg, man. We need him. We need McNichols and B-Rob and Eckler, all of them, because they all have their parts of this offense where they excel. Obviously, Eckler is a guy who's more of a Swiss Army knife. B-Rob's that hard-nosed running back that lowers his shoulder pads and puts somebody on their butt. But Chris Rodriguez is a good change of pace back. And McNichols is a guy who can be very active in special teams, can be very active in passing downs. So we have a good situation here in Washington with this running back situation. We have 4 legit running backs who can all contribute in their own way. Obviously, the bell cow is Brian Robinson, and obviously Austin Eckler at this stage in his career is that change of pace, third down back who can be very active, not only in passing downs, but with certain special plays. He is a special talent, man, that we definitely need him to get back to 100%. But he can take his time because we have depth in Chris Rodriguez and McNichols. All right, point number 3 tonight. Secondary needs Marshawn Lattimore badly going down the stretch, but still gets great play from Mike Sainristil. Mike Sainristil has done a great job in his rookie campaign. He's had his growing pains here and there, but overall, it was said in the draft process that he was the best cornerback in his draft, and I agree 100%. Especially when you look at the fact that we just released Emmanuel Forbes Jr. And there's always that, the age-old question. Should we have gotten Christian Gonzalez? And I think that we all know that we should have picked Christian Gonzalez over Emmanuel Forbes. But again, that ship has sailed. We have Mike Sainristil out of Michigan, and he has proven his worth. Now, I think that his best spot is slot corner, even though he can't play on the outside. And I think that with Marshawn Lattimore and we're definitely heading in the right direction. I think that Benjamin St-Juste is probably not going to be on the team next year. Mike Davis is not going to be on the team next year. And I think that we need to go ahead and go in the draft and go get a legitimate number 1 corner to pair with the other number 1 corner in Marshawn Lattimore. It can't hurt to have 2 number 1 corners. I think we need to go out there and get another shutdown corner. And I think you do that if you pair a number 1 corner in this draft with Marshawn Lattimore and Mike Sainristil in this secondary is going to be a lot better next year, and it's going to be ready and poised for a deep playoff run, in my opinion. So I agree 100%. We do need Marshawn Lattimore, but, like I said, we need him healthy. We don't want to rush him. Definitely give him the time to get back to 100%. So point number 4, Cliff Kingsbury did exactly what we were calling for, which was to move Terry McLaurin around the field. McLaurin was more productive game because of it. And again, great minds thinking alike. I agree with all his points, man. I mean, Cliff Kingsbury has gotten a lot of criticism in the last 3 games, and for good reason. But he was able to move around Terry McLaurin. He played on the outside. He played out of the slot. He was able to put him in the best position to succeed, and he was productive for that. He has had a productive season, and this is probably going to be the best season in his career, in my opinion, when it's all said and done, because he has a legit quarterback throwing to him. Look, he's gone through a lot of quarterbacks, guys, and he's going. I mean, he came in the league as a Redskin. He became a part of the Washington football team, and now he is a Washington Commander. He's gone through Carson Wentz. He's gone through Fitzpatrick. He's gone through Sam Howell. He's gone through so many different quarterbacks, and now he's got a legit franchise quarterback, and he needed that. He was able to put up number one wide receiver stats and still have a different assortment of not only coordinators but quarterbacks year in and year out. Now he's got a legit quarterback, a franchise quarterback, that connection is money. So I definitely agree with that. So the last point tonight is we still need a kicker. Gonzalez will be a liability hitting down the stretch. And again, I agree with him. Like I said, his points are on point. He was able. I mean, we need a kicker. We need a guy because you may not think they're important. They are very important, especially in clutch time, especially in the playoffs. You'll be surprised how many playoff games are dictated by a field goal, by an extra point. We saw it against Dallas, man. The extra point miss, and those field goals being missed, it was back and forth. And Dallas missed their fair share also. Because you can argue with the Dallas game, the special teams had the best and worst game of the year. We blocked 2 kicks and then gave up 2 kick returns. So it was the best and worst day for the special teams. But we've got to go get it there and get a legitimate kicker, man. Because we're going to need him down the stretch. Because I do believe we are a playoff team. Now, I do also believe that we probably won't make it past the wild card. And the reason for that is because playoff is different time of the year, man. It's not the regular season. You got to have that playoff experience, and we don't have that yet. And I think that's the reason why we will lose out in the playoffs because we don't have that chemistry and we don't have that playoff experience yet. But being in the wild card, making it this season will give us that experience. So I think we are definitely headed the right direction. We are closer to a Super Bowl than many people imagine. We have everything in place. A new ownership. Dan Snyder is gone, baby. I mean, we have a legitimate general manager, Adam Peters, who continues to cook like Gordon Ramsay. I'm trying to tell you guys, man. And Dan Quinn has gotten his team where it needs to be. Cliff Kingsbury has his misses over the time, man, but has done well overall. Last 3 games, we've had our issues, but overall, he has done well with Jayden Daniels, put him in the best position to produce. And look, Joe Witt is lit the fire on his defense. Yeah, we know that the secondary needs work. The Marshawn Lattimore trade was a good trade, but we need him 100%. We do need some work in the secondary. The D line, there's some tough choices coming up with Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne. And then with the linebacker group, look, Luvu is going to be around for a little bit, but Bobby Wagner is older, man. Really, how many years do you expect him to be in the fold here in DC? I think we definitely, you got to give Jordan McGee a look long term, or maybe go out there and get a marquee guy once Bobby Wagner is on his way out of DC, even though he has played good football here in DC, and he's provided much needed leadership and much needed production out of the linebacker position. So, like I said, some important questions going into the offseason, but I do believe we're a playoff team. Now, winning the division, we do have the matchup with Philly. We do have the matchup with Dallas. So there's still a chance we can win this division. But like I said, playoff experience matters. And I think that's going to be the one factor that's going to hold us back this season from making a deep playoff run. So like I said, guys, you guys let us know about me and Greg's points. Like I said, I feel like all his points were on point. And you guys let me know about the 4 game balls that I passed out because I believe that all 4 game balls were warranted. Jayden Daniels did his thing. The running back room today did immaculate. The offensive line, they were highly productive and played at a high level today. And look, Scary Terry, give him his flowers. He is a number 1 receiver in this league. And look, he has proven that. So you got to give, credit where it's due. Terry McLaurin is a very slept on number 1 wide receiver in the NFL. And I think the NFL needs to put a lot more respect on his name, in my opinion. So you guys let us know in the comment section what you guys think about the game balls and the points made by both me and my co-host, Greg Sykes. And like I said, guys, definitely want to see my guy get back to 100%. So hopefully we will see both me and Greg back on here the week coming up. Because like I said, this will be the bye week coming up. So we're going to put out probably some more content than usual, considering it is a bye week. So like I said, guys, it's that time of the year. So I've had my fair share of illnesses the last 2 weeks, man. I've had about 2-3 of them. It's like I said, it's definitely that time of the year, but definitely hope to see him get back to 100%. So again, guys, the Washington Commanders mollywop the Tennessee Titans 42-19 before heading into the much needed bye week. So, all right, everybody. I hope everybody has a blessed rest of the weekend. Obviously, tomorrow's Monday, so we're heading back into the work week, but Christmas is right around the corner. So we got a Christmas gift early with a mollywhopping of the Tennessee Titans again, 42-19. All right, everybody. Hail to the Commanders and peace. See you guys next time.